I'm Colby Smith. This is me. I'm not hiding in the dark to hide my face. It's just very dark. You know, I haven't made all these videos for a while, and I kind of give up on caring, which is easy to do, but there's so many things going on. You know, it's hard to like focus your energy on one thing. But this whole like, the world's gone crazy. You know, the other day I turned the TV on, I watched about 30 seconds of the BBC News, and it was like, you know, they were like, basically terrorists are coming for you in your home right now. It was like Belgium, Germany, France, you know, Britain's the only next option for them to get. I just couldn't understand it, you know. And I'm quite an open-minded person. I don't follow any religion. I've like read and learnt about religions. You know, there's some bits of some religions that I like, there's some bits that I don't like, but you know, I don't have anything against anyone who follows any religion. You know, the only point where I find it hard to like to understand religions and to relate to people is when you start putting your religious beliefs above common sense, above like pragmatism. You know, and that's generally most people's views. Like, you know, you can have a religious country, but once religion starts becoming more important than common sense, than the law, you know, once the law is based on religion, that's when it fucks up. You know, that's the same with anything. You know, that's with any ideology. You know, if your ideology, whether it's a religious ideology, capitalism, whatever, you know, if your ideology is making people ignore common sense and pragmatism and like practicality, that's when I've got a big problem. And that's why, you know, when they're saying like Islam is not compatible with democracy or with, you know, with the UK and with Britain, you know, they need to integrate, I can see things as well. You know, I don't think capitalism is it just doesn't work with democracy. It's just like, you know, if you've got the more wealth you've got, the less democracy there is. You can supersede democracy. Like, any ideology that's like that, you know, that goes against common sense, I just don't understand. You know, and you've got people going fucking mental. On the BBC News today, they asked on Radio 2, they asked the question, would you rather be a Jew or a Muslim? And, you know, the bullet points underneath that was like, yeah, you can be a Muslim, yeah, but most people think you're a terrorist, or you can be a Jew and all Muslims want to kill you. That was basically what they boiled it down to. And I just I thought, what a stupid debate. Who's the most persecuted minority? I kind of thought, you know, for once, the BBC aren't making out that the white majority is the persecuted minority, which is what they usually do. Somehow they managed to make people think that white males are the persecuted. Oh no, feminists are coming after us. You've got to get rid of these feminists. Oh, Islam's going to take over the whole of England. Yeah, I don't really understand that. And it's just like, you know, I look at capitalism, which is the overriding, even if you're not a capitalist, you live in a capitalist society, so, you know, you're basically by default, you're going along with capitalism. And I see the things that capitalism, you know, the things that people will do in the name of capital, in the name of money. You know, they say people that do it like chopping off heads in the name of Islam, you know, they're trying to establish a caliphate, you know, they shoot people dead who fucking depict the Prophet, you know, all of that's in the name of Islam, apparently, according to the people that carried it out, but then other Muslims are saying it's not in the name of Islam. But, you know, I look at capitalism and the stuff that's carried out in the name of capitalism, you know, so that we can go to Tesco's and, you know, buy bags of Doritos. Doritos are fucking chopping down the rainforest, you know. That's not a necessity. They've done that out of the ideology, that the consumerist free market ideology, that you can have whatever you want if you pay for it, you know. And they're going to like wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Say what the fuck you want about the motives of that, but capital has been made out of that, you know. So people are justifying, you know, they go and pass common sense. Is it common sense that we chop down the rainforest to make crisps that are fucking bad for you anyway, malnutritious, and are probably fucking, you know, if you go on eating that shit for the rest of your life, you're going to get stomach cancer, bowel cancer, fucking mouth cancer, whatever. You know, is that practical? Has capitalism as an ideology, that's like, this common sense has gone out the window in the name of capital? You know, and you can see this fucking Or is it like, you know, is it practical to fish the seas to like absolute death, to trawl every fucking bit of marine life out of the sea just so you can get some fucking cheap tuna or whatever? Is that, you know, is that practical? You know, it's not hard to see, you know, if these things that we're doing to the environment are irreplaceable, not irreversible. You know, not the individual. You can replant a tree. You know, we're going to get to the tipping point where we've just fucked it up so much. But people don't see that, you know. They want to blame ideologies. They point a finger at Islam, but they won't look at their own ideology. It makes no sense, because, you know, I'm a British taxpayer. You're assuming you're a British person, you're a taxpayer, whether you pay VAT, income tax, inheritance tax, whatever, you're a taxpayer. You know, that money, my tax money, my actual money from my pay packet that I've worked for today, that a fraction of that will go to the army, the British Armed Forces, you know. And then I see the stuff that they're doing, like bombing ISIS, you know, they're decimating the Kurds by the sounds of it. And I think my money, my actual money has gone towards that, you know, my taxes have gone towards that. And then, like, I think of Islam and I think, do all Muslims pay a terrorist tax that goes towards jihad? I'm pretty sure they don't. You know, so how are they responsible? But we've all bought into this ideology. You know, we are actual contributors to this ideology of war and fucking greed and consumerism. We're actually paying for that, whether it's for our taxes or through the products that we buy. We're paying for this destruction. And, you know, we're not questioned about that. Do we question ourselves? You know, fucking Eric Pickles sends a letter out to every fucking Muslim leader in the UK saying, you know, you need to question Islam. You need to question, you know, how we can integrate Muslims into Britain. You know, you need to question how people are getting radicalised. And I think, you know, I radicalised myself, not in terms of a religion, but in terms of my, like, political ideology. I've done that myself. You know, so they can question, like, as many people as they want, but if people are in their bedrooms on the internet, you can't fucking stop that. You know, and you can ask them to question, but are we questioning ourselves? You know, as a nation, as individuals, as taxpayers, as a country, are we questioning ourselves? Or do we just, you know, with these questions come up in our minds, and, like, you know, the kind of the media, the news preempts them and says, you know, it's fine, global warming's not real. Scientists, 97% of scientists are making it up. You know, that's not fucking real. We don't need to care about the environment. We don't need to care about the air we breathe. You know, and I just think there's so many fucking wrong things that are done in the name of, like, capitalism, in the name of, like, GDP. You know, David Cameron will fucking sanction disabled people. You know, they'll cut off the ILF. You know, they'll put fucking people in homes. You know, they're talking about ghettos, like fucking Muslim ghettos. We're gonna have fucking disabled ghettos before we know it. They're just gonna fucking chuck them all in the same area, and that's done to save a penny. You know, just because the ideology of our times is greed, and just like every single penny must be accounted for. You know. Fucking dog eat dog. Everyone again, you step on your fucking neighbour. You know, that's fucking. They can say whatever they want about, you know, violence and being part of the fucking fabric. I've had enough people say it's part of the fabric of Islam. You know, violence, fucking beheading non-believers. I don't fucking believe that myself. You know, you can interpret Harry Potter the fucking which way you want to interpret Harry Potter. You can read Harry Potter and enjoy it, or you can read Harry Potter and dedicate your fucking life to becoming a wizard. It's not going to make you a wizard, is it? I just think, you know, that it's not built into the fabric of Islam to fucking cut people's heads off that are non-believers, because I've talked to Muslims who obviously recognise that I'm not a Muslim and my head hasn't been cut off. So I'm pretty sure, you know, you've got fucking Christians. I've got a friend who's a Christian. He calls himself a Christian. Does he ever go to church? No. You know, he drinks, he smokes, he takes drugs, you know, he sleeps with women. You know, if he was a devout Christian, he wouldn't do those things. But then there's other Christians that won't do those things. You know, there's different levels. But what I've seen with capitalism is what's built into the fabric of capitalism is basically anything that gets you ahead in a rat race, anything that, you know, gets that extra mile, you know, that draws that extra bit of money, is a little bit more efficient, is better for the consumer. Anything is built, and you do anything for that. You know, whether it's fucking genocide, whether it's destruction of the environment, of our air and water and our land, whether it's, you know, corrupting political systems abroad, whether it's invading countries, whether it's, you know, overthrowing governments in Ukraine, you know, anything is permissible by capitalism. You know, you do it and then afterwards we'll justify it by a spreadsheet. And that's why I think, you know, any ideology, common sense has got to prevail. The facts of common sense have got to come first. Doesn't matter whether you believe in fucking Allah, Buddha, fucking Mark Carney, George Osborne, or fucking good old Christian God. It doesn't matter. Common sense has got to prevail, and that is what's missing from this whole fucking country, the whole media, political spectrum. Common fucking sense. People before profit. The environment before profit. And democracy before profit. End.